Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. This morning we're going to go through a book entitled Before You Know It by an author named John Bargh. And this book was published on the 17th of October 2017. The key takeaways from this book include the following: the power of the unconscious, or the power of our subconscious, the hidden motivations that we have, the science of attraction beyond our awareness, deceptive marketing techniques, priming for positivity, decision-making checkpoints, and beyond empathy. So let's look at the first point, the power of our unconscious. John argues that much of our behaviour, decision-making and preferences are influenced by the unconscious processing of past events, our biases and our emotions, and that everything is well beyond our immediate awareness. So even if you try to figure it out or understand what makes you tick, it's beyond your awareness, is what the author is saying. And recognizing this connection allows you to pause and analyze the deeper reasons behind your seemingly gut reactions and triggers. We all have hidden motivations which are beyond our awareness. The author calls us to explore the potential anxieties or desires driving seemingly logical choices. For example, buying a luxury item might not simply be about its function, but about fulfilling our desire and our need for belonging or status. Here we go, it's starting to rain. I'll just jump out of the rain before we get, that's better. I'm out of the rain now. So just getting on with this book, the author reminds us that buying a luxury item may not be simply about its function, but about fulfilling a need, a deep desire for belonging or status. This self-awareness can empower us to align our choices with our deeper values. We go on to talk about the science of attraction, and the author reminds us that there are implicit biases that can influence who you find attractive and who you find interesting. This awareness, once again, can help us move beyond the initial impressions and appreciate individuals for their true qualities, fostering more genuine connections. Once again, we examine this concept of beyond awareness, and the author invites us to recognize our biases and to understand that our biases are critical, but to confront them requires active effort. We need to challenge our assumptions, seek diverse perspectives, and engage in self-reflection. To be engaging in self-reflection exercises to deconstruct and mitigate the impact of unconscious biases. The author challenges us to look at our assumptions and to seek diverse perspectives and engage in self-reflection exercises to deconstruct and mitigate the impact of unconscious bias in our decision-making processes. He also asks us to look for deceptive marketing and to be mindful of manipulative advertising tactics that exploit unconscious emotions and associations. We need to learn to be critically involved and to analyse marketing messages and make informed purchasing decisions based on actual needs and value. The author then goes on to talk about priming, and we need to look at priming in our lives and make it productive and positive, because subtle environmental cues and priming can unknowingly influence our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Hence, the book urges us to design, to curate, and to manage our environment and routines with positive priming cues, which means that we basically need to try and surround ourselves with uplifting reminders, inspirational quotes, and healthy habit triggers to subconsciously nudge ourselves towards desired behaviours. We also need decision-making checkpoints, and before we make important choices, we need to sit back, to pause, and to reflect on the potential unconscious influences that are playing with us. We need to consider alternative perspectives and, where possible, consult trusted individuals to ensure that our decisions align with our conscious values and goals. And the last point from this book is where the author talks about beyond empathy. And by understanding the unconscious factors driving our own and others' actions, can develop deeper empathy and compassion for ourselves and others. We get to understand what makes them tick. We get to understand what drives them and what influences them. And this in itself is useful, as it fosters stronger relationships and more respectful and responsible interactions with our family and friends. So once again, another beautiful book with some wonderful messages that can help us grow, develop, and thrive in this world that we live in. And in summary, the author basically talks about the power of our unconscious mind, the things that are happening behind the scenes that are beyond our awareness. They're happening and we don't know how and why they're happening, but in many ways we are a puppet to these things happening in the background, and we all have a inventory of hidden motivations that have been built up over the years by the various experiences, the weighting and the meaning that we have attached to these experiences. And there's a science behind it. And the author here once again invites us to try and understand the science and to know that we aren't what we do, because a lot of the things that we do are beyond our awareness, and we just do things and react to things and are triggered by things for various reasons. And to understand that other people